Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Derek Chisora wins a unanimous decision over Gerald Washington. I thought it would go a distance, to be honest. It was a boring fight. One guy looked like he once had it and doesn't have it anymore, and the other guy looks like he never really had it, to be honest. The former would be Derek Chisora, who looked as old as he is and looked like he had as many miles on the clock as he has. And Washington, 4 inches taller, same age. Again, I don't think I've ever seen Washington in a fight where he's had more than about 4 rounds in him, because as usual, Washington, to start with, nice jab, was firing the right, connected with Derek in the first round. I gave him the first round, actually, Washington. Derek trundling forward, huge wide hooks, over the top, rights, and throwing left hooks. And for the first 3-4 rounds, Derek, I don't think, jabbed at all. Maybe even half the fight, first 5 rounds, he didn't jab. But Washington, I gave Washington, I think after 4 rounds I had it 3-1. I was sort of scoring it in my head, casually. And Washington, was using the jab well. He wasn't doing anything spectacular. He was using the ring well, moving around well, standing bolt upright, using the jab to sort of line up the right hand, which he threw, and it was connecting. And then Derek, in the second round there was a clash of heads, so Derek picked up a cut which was bleeding. They stemmed the flow of blood for the most part, but it did open up a couple of times later on in the fight. And after 5 rounds, Derek started to get back into it, and of course Gerald, again, as soon as he gets tired, he seems to go into survival mode or into his shell. He don't want to fight. He doesn't want to do anything. And he just basically ran. Whenever they got up close, he would drape his arms around Derek and stop him from working. But as soon as Derek started to jab, he was having far more success, and it took him to the middle rounds to start jabbing properly. And again, Washington just went into his shell. I think Washington, I don't think Washington has the mentality of a fighter. I've never thought this. I think Washington is a big guy, 6'6", big strong guy. Didn't take up box till he was 30. Probably thought, I'll give it a go, see how far I get. But he just doesn't have any sort of self-belief in that ring. He doesn't like getting hit. Now, no one likes getting hit, I know, but he just doesn't. He's so negative, so safety first. And I understand you can't be, there's a time to be cavalier and there's a time to be sort of a little bit reserved. But this guy, the moment he starts to huff and puff, the moment a guy gets close to him, he shuts up shop. And I think that this was a classic example of it against a, deeply depleted Derek Chisora. And if you want an indication of how Chisora is pretty much shot, I think it was as early as the 3rd round, 4th round, Derek tried to take a sidestep and stumbled. Okay, and that kind of sums it up, really, because it's like when you see old people who have some sort of neurological, depletion. They can walk forward still. They might even be able to walk backwards. But you ask them to step to the side. They do it very gingerly because they might stumble. And it's the same with fighters who've lost too many brain cells. And that little cameo that I thought, that's Derek. He's stumbling around there. It's his legs. He was still taking some half decent right hands from Washington, who has got a little bit of pop to his punches. But he was sort of stumbled back, and then he moved forward again. Derek. You've got to actually absolutely hit him with a baseball bat to keep him out of there, or to get him out of there and keep him down. But yeah, he looked old. He looked old against a very, very unambitious, safety first, ultra cautious opponent. And to be honest, at no point did Washington look like he was going to quit, which was fair enough. Whenever he got hit, there's always an air of panic about him when he gets hit cleanly. He didn't want to exchange up close. He did use the ring well, Washington, I'll give him that, especially early on. When I say use the ring well, he was jabbing and firing the right hand. Later on, he was just using the ring. He wasn't really doing anything. Yeah, look, it was just a very dull fight, a very boring, dull fight between two guys who have seen, to put it mildly, better days. So, undercard of the Joshua Helenius fight. Tell me what you thought. Do you think they should both retire? Because I do. But Derek won't. I mean, he loves you can see he loves that energy. He loves that arena. He loves the crowd. He walked to the ring with his two young daughters. He was in sparkling Barbie pink with the Barbie sort of font. So Derek wore Chisora in Barbie pink with you know what I mean about the font. You know, like the letters that they used. Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves it, and he'll be back now that he's got a win. He'll be back. You know, he'll probably pick up another paycheck, and that's the way it is, I suppose. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Comments below as usual. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a great deal. And of course, like the video as well if you'd liked it, and spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Appreciate your time as always. And bye for now.